Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a video on nothingness and what it means to me and how I feel sometimes when I feel nothingness, when I feel like life is so bleak and just life doesn't mean anything and all this. So here we go, let's get into it. Nothingness. Woohoo! This is something that I wanted to talk about a long time, but I just didn't. And here we go, nothingness. So when life drags you down and you become depressed, or you just feel like life is not worth living, you get depressed or think about suicide, or you just don't think there's any meaning to life. And if you really think about it, in the end of it, there's no meaning to life. We might think that there's no meaning to life because we don't have a purpose ourselves. And so we don't think that there's a meaning to life. Or maybe even if we do think there's a meaning to life, maybe that is not the right meaning. So I believe there's a meaning to our existence, ourselves, for individuals like myself, and then the meaning of life collectively for the whole entire, I would say, this earth and or humanity. And so when we figure out what our individual purpose is, we can figure out what the meaning of life is. And many, many eons of time, people have claimed that the meaning is really to unconditionally love every being. Unconditionally love, don't harm, non-violence. That might be the meaning of life, as I explained in my previous books, especially the lost love. And we get to feeling, okay, that is the meaning of life, but it kind of still feels really empty if you really think about it. Okay, we save lives, individual lives, but so what? In the end, everybody dies. In the end, like we feel so insignificant in our daily lives. So we get one person or 10 people to go vegan. So what? What does that all mean in the end? And then you get depressed because you think about these things, all these, what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What is my purpose? And even now, I don't fully know 100% what my purpose is. I know what I think it is, and I know what my goals are and what I have to accomplish throughout, these years. I don't know what's going to happen 20 years from now. I don't know what's going to happen 5 years from now, but I know I have a somewhat of a plan and goals to achieve. So, for example, for myself, the goals would be to complete several books, websites, 2 websites to release. And that's my goals over the next, few months and few years. And so that is my purpose, is really to write and be a vegan advocate. And it's not really even a vegan advocate. It's more than that because when it's on the surface, it might seem like I'm advocating for veganism and I'm advocating for animals, but I'm doing much more than that. Vegan advocacy is so much more than that. And I don't talk about how it's so much more in how to create the perfect vegan life, which now you can get as an ebook, so PDF, Kindle, and other formats as well. And it's coming out also in paperback format, so that is coming out very shortly, probably early next month. So, how to create the perfect vegan life, it doesn't explain the, you know, what, I mean, yes, it explains it in some sense that even as a vegan advocate, we're helping animals, we're helping the earth, we're helping humans, and we're doing all that, and it's much, but it goes much deeper than that. It really heals the inner being, who we are. The inner being is really what being a vegan advocate is. And of course, vegan advocate can also be interchanged with the word just vegan, being vegan. But being vegan means just being vegan. It doesn't mean that we're advocating for veganism or vegan world. So when we start to realize that we're just vegans and we're not doing anything to help animals, and we should do something to help animals each and every day. So we should educate and tell people about it. Now, if we're not doing that, but we're actually, like, for example, myself, I have books online so people can read the books. I'm doing a couple websites, so that is in the works. Once it releases, it will reach, thousands or millions of people. So that is the key. Sometimes for a stretch period of time, we don't educate anyone, but then boom, we educate thousands and millions. So that's something that we need to do, is we need to take as much time as we can to educate as many people as we can. So going back to nothingness, we feel nothingness because we don't have this purpose. And so I have this purpose of finishing my books. I have several books that I want to finish. And I think that is my purpose, really, to write and spread this message through my writings and through my YouTube channel. Now, my YouTube channel is really not taking off exponentially like some other channels. But then again, look at where it has come. When I first started the channel, I think it was 2011, I didn't think that I would end up at this level. So I started with merely a couple dozen views, if that, on my channel. And then as time went on, I gained a following. Now I have over 14,000 subscribers, almost 5 million views on my channel. Now some people could say that that is a lot compared to people that only have 1,000 views on their channel. But then there are some people that have 100 million views. And there are some people that have million subscribers. So do I feel insignificant? Do I feel like my life means nothing? No, because hundreds, if not thousands of people that come to my YouTube channel have gone vegan. And I've seen that. I've seen it. I see their messages. I read them. And I see that they've gone vegan. Now, I don't know how vegan they've become. I don't know if they're still vegan. I don't know what they eat, if they're eating whole foods or fruit, or if they're eating nothing but junk food. I don't know if they've gone back to being non-vegan or pre-vegan. Um, and then, of course, there are some people that say they're going vegetarian. Most people have said they've gone vegan, But there are some, of course, in the comments sections below the videos that have said they're going vegetarian or they're cutting meat out or something like that. So we don't really know unless we actually, take a look at their lives, ask them, and then actually look at what they're eating day-to-day basis. And we'll never know. So sometimes that's why it feels very bleak to some people, because they can't see the outcome of their advocacy. So they hand out 5,000 leaflets. They don't know how many people went vegan, and if any, for that matter. So that is the thing. We don't see the results. But in my book, How to Create the Perfect Vegan Life, even in my other books actually, I really, really hit it hard in my newest books. So How to Create the Perfect Vegan Life, Our Path to Freedom, which should be out this year. I really hit it out that positivity is really important. And not just positivity in our day-to-day lives, in the events that occur within our lives, but in the future of our lives and of the world. So when we understand the outlook on the future, and if we have positivity for the outlook on the future, then we can start to also maybe say, maybe, just maybe, there is something to this life. Maybe there is nothing. Maybe there is that nothingness. Maybe there is something to it. Maybe there is something to my life. Once we understand what our purpose is, individually what our purpose is, then we'll understand what the meaning of life is, and that there is actually no such thing as nothingness. Now, of course, we will have days when we're down, when we're depressed, and when we feel like we want to commit suicide. But that's just because that's how life is. Because that's how this crazy world, we live here, we live, in this crazy world of ours, and we'll feel these emotions sometimes of helplessness or hopelessness. And the whole key really is to just be as positive as we can, and majority of the time, or at least try to be it as often as we can, and to just continue on with our purpose, continue on trying to fulfill our goals. And I have in my phone, my cell phone, I have, even though of course I don't use it as a phone, I just use it for all the other features. I implement every night, I add in what I must do the next day, or maybe I still have the list from the previous day that I just tick off. And so what I do basically is I look at each little task, and that is taking me closer to finishing my particular goal. And so this year I have many things that I want to accomplish. And so I look forward to living this one beautiful life, even though, of course, I'm here. Let me show you. I'm here, and as you can see, it's snow outside, but not too much snow. But there's still snow and it's still cold. So even though it's cold, and even though I don't technically like this weather, and even though I can't grow food all year round, I try my best. I'm here in Canada, in Quebec, and we just have to make the best of it. That's what we have to do. We have to make the best of it and understand that no matter what situation we're in, even if it's the worst situation, make the best of it and be positive every moment. Think positively about that situation because every situation is a learning experience. And a learning experience is a positive thing. And so I mean, maybe initially when we succumb to that event, maybe we're like, ah, damn, why did I do that? And depressed and we hate ourselves and all that stuff. But we got to align ourselves back to positivity. And so uh, I'm so glad that I'm living today. I'm so grateful. And that's another thing that fills the void of this nothingness, this emptiness, is that we got to be grateful for one life. We got to be grateful that we have health. We got to be grateful that we can eat any kind of vegan food that we really want and we have abundance of it. And we got to thank the universe or higher power or God or Jesus. Thank you for this one life that I live. I'm so blessed because I have a purpose and I know what my purpose is now. And if I had no purpose, then that kind of makes you feel like, well, now I don't have a purpose. I feel like life is bleak. I'm lost, and that's what it is if we don't have a purpose. So how do we envision or how do we come to understanding what our purpose is? And this I talk about in how to create the perfect vegan life, and it all stems from meditation. Now we might meditate for several years and finally understand what our purpose is. But we may meditate for decades and still not find what our purpose is. And so we need to understand two things, and that is first meditate on the self, so self meditation or self contemplation, self inquiry meditation, which is basically trying to understand who we are. So who am I, and meditating on that concept, and then after that, meditate, finding out what we're good at. So let's say we're good at web designing. So create a vegan web designing company to help vegans, you know, create websites. Now, let me tell you something about this. It's not only about the money, though, of course, we need money to survive in this crazy world. But once we become fully self sufficient, meaning that we don't need to rely on the outside world for any of our things, then we can rely more on helping others for free. In the meantime, we have to, if we have a, I don't know, if we create, like for example, myself, I cannot survive fully um, in this world. Like if I were to, for example, if I were to rent an apartment, buy my own food, pay for all my own things, I wouldn't have any money left. Probably I would have to somehow work at least part time to pay for everything. Especially if living in Toronto, I would have to work full time, if that. But if I was self-sufficient, fully self-sufficient, then I probably wouldn't need any money at all, or very little, if that, like for internet and things like that. And even in time, you're not going to need internet. So, in fact, we're not going to need money at all. So, once we understand what we're good at, so what are we good at? Okay, we're good at creating t-shirts. Okay, and we have to find a way how to create and mass produce t-shirts somehow. So we put vegan logos on it and cute vegan sayings on the t-shirt, and then we sell them. A lot of them we give away for free, and then we sell the rest to pay for our expenses. And then from there, as we become more self-sufficient, we rely less and less and less on the money. So that is our purpose basically, is to really to release these shirts and clothing to the public and to make money from that so we can survive, and hey, we're living our purpose. And that means that that is a positive thing. Yes, I'm doing a positive thing and spreading the message through t-shirts. And I understand that they're fair trade t-shirts, and they have everything is vegan on the t-shirt, and I know each person that buys these t-shirts are spreading the vegan message. So if I sell 1,000 t-shirts per month, I know that 1,000 people are, spreading the message. So you see that is the purpose. When you understand that you're helping to make this world a better place, that is the purpose. And each of us has our own unique way of promoting veganism. So that is the video of nothingness. I know it has been a long video, but tell me what you think. If you have any tips or anything that you want to write below, do so. But I don't usually check the comments down below. So if you want to send me a message, do so by email at info@weareinterconnected.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this video, and get my books. The weareinterconnected.com website is coming out very shortly. It's probably next month or so, within a month and a half. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon.